Carmakers from China challenge EU import tariffs, the potential cost of Trump's duties on imports from Mexico, and just how many job cuts were announced by automotive suppliers last year. This is the Automotive Update, brought to you by AutoVista24. I'm AutoVista24 Special Content Editor Phil Curry, and you are listening to the Automotive Update, where we explore some of the top news stories from the last week. First up, BYD, Geely and SAIC have challenged the EU's import tariffs on battery electric vehicles, or BEVs, built in China. This follows the confirmation of definitive countervailing duties back in October 2024. Under the import rules, BYD could face total tariffs of 27%, Geely 28.8% and SAIC 45.3%. Reuters reports that these car makers have now submitted a challenge at the Court of Justice of the European Union. Filings show the car makers lodged the complaints at the General Court a day before the deadline. Proceedings at this court can last 18 months on average and can also be appealed. The China Chamber of Commerce for Import and Export of Machinery and Electronic Products also filed a complaint according to the Chinese Chamber of Commerce to the EU. The body urged Beijing and Brussels to negotiate a compromise to avoid tariffs. The two have been in talks about possible minimum price commitments since September. Brussels has promised to help Europe's car industry by potentially using pan-EU subsidies to boost demand for electric vehicles. Teresa Ribera, Executive Vice President of the European Commission, told the Financial Times at the World Economic Forum that officials are shaping options for an incentive programme. A major challenge will be conforming to World Trade Organization rules while backing the local automotive industry. As reported by Bloomberg, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz said that pragmatic solutions were needed, not ideological ones. He commented, "I am delighted that the President of the Commission has now taken up my proposal for harmonized Europe-wide purchase premiums for e-cars." On 20th of January 2025, Donald Trump returned for his second term as President of the United States of America. During the election, Trump touted the use of tariffs against imported goods, including automotive products. Although he did not issue new tariffs on day one, he is directing federal agencies to evaluate US trade relations with China, Canada and Mexico. Shares of Japanese car makers and South Korean battery manufacturers did fall earlier in the week. This followed Trump stating he could impose tariffs on Canada and Mexico and revoke the previous administration's executive order on electric vehicles. But Reuters has reported that Chinese manufacturers bucked the trend as Trump did not target China in his inauguration speech or immediately impose tariffs on Beijing as previously promised. Volkswagen warned against the harmful economic impact of proposed tariffs of 25% on imports from Mexico, where the carmaker operates a major factory. Volkswagen is far from the only carmaker that could be impacted by additional duties, according to Reuters. Audi's San Jose Chiapas factory builds the Q5. BMW's San Luis Potosi plant produces the 3 Series, 2 Series Coupe and M2, with nearly all output going to the US. Nissan has 2 plants in Mexico where it makes the Sentra, Versa and Kicks models for the US. Kia has a factory in the country producing its own vehicles and a small number of Hyundai Tucson SUVs for US export. Mazda said it produced around 209,000 vehicles in Mexico last year and exported about 60% to the US. Stellantis operates 2 assembly plants in Mexico, Sotillo, which makes Ram pickups and vans, and Toluca for the Jeep Compass midsize SUV. Toyota builds its Tacoma pickup truck at 2 plants in Mexico. We hope you're enjoying the episode. The AutoVista24 podcast is hosted on Spotify. This means you can leave us a comment in the Spotify app. We're also available on Apple Podcasts and Amazon Music. But no matter where you listen, hit that subscribe button. And check out AutoVista24's YouTube channel as well. There you'll find our What Is Explainer videos, launch report series and webinar recordings. A webinar on our 2025 residual value outlook will also take place at the end of January, and I'll leave a link to sign up in the show notes. Finally, also sign up for our daily email. Just head to the bottom of our homepage at autovista24.com. Now back to the headlines. In an editorial, CLEPA President Matthias Zink acknowledged a difficult 2024 for suppliers with increasingly fierce global competition, depressed volumes, and overall weak demand for electric vehicles. On top of this, he noted that energy costs have shot up, access to raw materials remains critical, and the industry's investments in new technologies did not yield the appropriate returns. CLEPA's Pulse Check survey and data digest revealed that 65% of companies are struggling to maintain profit margins above 5%, and over 54,000 jobs were lost in 2024, with impacts continuing over the next 2 to 5 years. Zink wrote that, "We see automotive suppliers and the European economy at a crossroads in 2025. As our industry undergoes its transformation, we need appealing business conditions and clear pathways to achieve our goals. This means having regulations that welcome all technologies, cut down on foreign dependence, and help us to reach climate targets faster. All of this while facing increasing uncertainty in global politics." Finally, Rivian CEO RJ Scaringe confirmed plans to launch an advanced hands-free driver assistance system this year and an eyes-off system in 2026. An advanced driver assistance system that enables drivers to take their hands off the wheel and eyes off the road will add an enormous amount of value to customers, Reuters reported him saying. Advancing driver assistance technology will give buyers their time back, Scaringe predicted. This would allow people to use their phones, read books, or send emails while at the wheel. Developing such capabilities and systems is something we're hyper-focused on, he added. That's all we have time for today. Don't forget to check out our companion article on AutoVista 24. There'll be a link in the show notes. This episode was co-produced by AutoVista 24 editor Tom Gegas. Additional thanks go to AutoVista 24's web editor James Roberts. The music was Better Find a Solution Fast by Richard Ames. Thank you for listening to the AutoVista 24 podcast.